Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Aurora 4X C# version 2.1 as the Terran Republic. So, first things first, it is in fact basically time for us to run another election. I say basically because it's December 21st, normally I'd run it at the end of the month, December 31st, but screw it. We'll just go ahead and run it now so we get it out of the way. Technically speaking, new person, if a new person does, take over, does not actually take control until January 1st, is how we have this set up. Technically, the election happened a while back. I just do it at the end of the year because it's much easier for me. So let's go ahead and run this. And then, of course, actually, first things first, before I run it, I need to make sure that we have the population at the right number. And we don't. We grew by what is that? 37 million? I think that would be. My math might be off on that, don't quote me. So try that again. Copy over, paste unformatted. Heitha Markov wins re-election. And that is our setup for the election, or for the Senate, rather. Correct? Yes, I believe that's correct. Whatever, doesn't really matter. So, as you can see here, I did redo our infantry fighting vehicle. I realized when I was going through the updating my formation templates that I had the incorrect module selected for our IFV. I had accidentally selected HCAP, so, heavy crew anti-personnel, when it's supposed to actually be a light anti-vehicle. So I used Space Master to go ahead and just replace that. Let's go ahead and get our timer started. I do have some plans set up, so first things first. Well, not necessarily in order, but so my 3 plans, roughly for this part or next part, depending upon exactly how things work out, is to begin building our quick reaction force, to rebuild our army, which I already sort of started doing between parts. I went ahead and queued up basically one of each of our new formations, because I sort of need to figure out the exact ratio and order of units that I want to do, because I gave the infantry, I believe, powered infantry armor, if I recall correctly. So they're a little bit heavier, which does have an effect on things. Game does not actually tell me exactly which one I gave them, so yes, I gave them powered infantry armor as opposed to the light infantry armor that they originally had, and then I also gave them improved personnel weapons for the little bit of extra penetration, because those elite infantry that we were fighting, if I recall correctly, I mean, unless I'm misremembering, they have an armor strength of 20. So, yeah, we kind of need to punch through that. So having that little bit of extra infantry, or of penetration rather, on our infantry is helpful. It's not strictly necessary, but it is helpful. My other plan to start, like I said, either this part or next part, we'll see how it goes, probably this part for this one, is to start preparing Lalande to get that sweet, sweet corundium that it has there, that fairly easily accessible sweet, sweet corundium. It's also got mercasium, which is kind of nice, but it's not strictly necessary. I think Venus has mercasium. No, it doesn't. Does anywhere have mercasium? I swear we had a place that had mercasium, I thought. Yes, Syseti B1. This is why Syseti B1 is such an important planet for us. It has ludicrous amounts of corundium, mercasium, and neutronium. And, a fair bit of duranium as well is kind of nice. So, we're going to go ahead and have the cargo group. 1 second. Sorry about that. My dog decided she needed to go out. So she decided to come and get me, of course, to go out finally. Whatever. As I was saying, we're going to go ahead and start setting up the Lande. So let's have Earth, grab all of the installations, grab the automated mines. I don't know how many of these you carry each time. Either way. Well, one, you guys need to... Why do you have fight? Oh no, those are the frigates. Never mind. Or, excuse me, freighters. Well, one thing I need you guys to do is refuel. Why the hell are you not at max fuel? Let's go ahead and correct that real quick. New system. No particularly obvious planets for a potential NPR because, if I recall correctly, the default settings are 3, but that does not include the raiders. So there should still be one more NPR somewhere out there in this 1,000 system galaxy. Okay, now let's try this again. Load installation. Automated mine. Fly out to Lalande. Unload all installations. Auto route back to Sol. And I'm going to just, tell you guys to refuel each time as part of this trip. And then I'm going to tell you to repeat this whole thing 5 times. And then we'll sort things out from there. At the same time, how are our tugs doing? Were they upgraded? They were. Wonderful. What I am going to actually do is I'm going to detach one. I'm going to move him over here. Rename this. And also rename you because I don't want you to be a fleet anymore. You are now a group, even though technically you're just one, but that doesn't matter to me. I'm going to have you fleets. So just so that we have a nice easy way of getting that extra sorium while we wait for City A2? Is it A2? Yes. To be actually, set up, in reality, because it really isn't right now. Does it even have mines? No, it doesn't. Yeah. So while we wait for that to happen, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab the bit of sorium that exists on one of these gas giants. I don't recall which one it was. Uranus. It's not tons, but we can do that. It's a little bit. It helps. It'll tide us over for a while. And we can sort things out from there. Because that's like the only planet here that actually has any large deposit of sorium. That is not a planet. I mean, we got 1 million here on Mars, so that's nice. That'll also help hold us over for quite a while. But so what I want you to do is to grab the... Where are they? Fuel harvesters. How many are there here? 6. So give you the orders once and tell you to repeat 5 times. So tractor any ship in the fleet. Release them here. I believe you should have plenty of fuel to do this without any issues. Yeah, that should be more than sufficient. So repeat that 5 times and then refuel and resupply on Earth. Lalande is set up, correct? Just wanted to double check some stuff. Yes. Yeah. Lalande, we should be able to access. I just want to double check that because could have easily forgotten to do it, but we should be fine. Yeah, because we set this up all the way to Omega Seti. So yeah, okay, good. Just had to double check that because I could have easily forgotten to actually do that. That's a very legitimate possibility with me. So that should work fine. Press the wrong thing. The tanker group, I'm also going to rename you. So it's a nice, easier way to remember. As to who's supposed to go where, now, God, I need to check my math on this because I do not know it off the top of my head. What I'm probably going to do, if I set this up correctly, it should be set up for a year. Should be the fill time. So make sure I get the right number on this. Fleets. Tell you guys to, where is it? There they are. Refuel from stationary tankers. Yes, that should be the correct command. And then set you an order delay of a year. And then tell you to go to Earth. Remove that. Transfer fuel to colony and cycle that. The reality is, though, Uranus should probably run out of that before a year is up, but just for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to tell you to run it every year. You know what? Actually, I'm not going to tell you to cycle that because, yeah, that should. It's only. God damn it! Now I want to double check my math here. So, Uranus is a 500 some odd 1,000, but our fuel harvesting stations are capable of doing 2.3 million a year. So yeah, no, that should finish up well before a year is up, but I don't care to do the math to figure out exactly how long it should take. So we're just going to say do it for a year, or wait a year and then go and pick it all up. Makes life much easier. 19th mortar battery has been completed. Wonderful. Okay. Anti-tank platoon finished. Wonderful. Yeah, some of these smaller things should not take. Basically anything that's like the platoon should be finished relatively quickly. Terraforming report. Luna has reached the levels that I set for its aesthesium. I should be able to just sort of leave that, and it should naturally warm up a little bit. It's probably yearly if I had to make a guess, though. And it might actually need a little bit more. So let's go ahead and raise that up. We will do 0.2. Excuse me, 0.02. Thank you. I want to double it, not increase it by, what would that be, like 20 times? That would be a tad bit excessive. Oh, that would explain why I Oh, and the Corbomite on Earth has been completed. I have a little under 2 million on on the moon, 4 million on Mars. We're not in any real rush for Corbomite. If I really need a ton of it, though, Leonis A1 has tons of it. What is Leonis A1, though? What system is that? Oh, excuse me, 96 Leonis A1. That is a Venusian world. And it is way too large for us to orbital mine it. So I would have to terraform it and colonize it to be able to really do this, because a colony cost of 24 is just... no, that would require far too much infrastructure to make that viable. So we are going to... we might consider this much further down the road, because that is basically every resource we need. Oh, but God. Where is 96 Leonis out of curiosity? Because it could make a wonderful system as a staging area for stuff. I was way out here. That's a decent distance away, but like I said, that could make a good staging area for like a secondary fleet down the road. It would be far too time consuming, I think, right now to be able to actually set that up. One thing I do need to check on. No, you cannot do it right now. Okay, that's kind of what I figured. So, what I'm going to tell you to do is travel through there. And then I'm going to tell... yeah, no, that was the correct one. Tell Group 1 to fly out to FL Virginis. It's going to grab you. Tractor any ship in the fleet. Release it to there. And we're going to go ahead and start setting up the gateway to get to 96 Leonis. That way, when the opportunity arises, we can do it without any significant issues. Oh, whoops. We actually finished some research there. I noticed that just after I pressed the go. Well, technically, it was only one. I don't know. Oh, well, yeah, because you get 4.5 when you research 5, because, you know, reasons. Well, I mean, I'm fine with that, but it's just... I don't think I'm going to generally ever use anything other than a full increment. I think the only exception to that is the railguns we have on our fighters, which we might want to look into setting up new ones, because now we have more range. Or rather, we will. In August. But in the meantime, let's continue looking at options here. What else do I want to go ahead and get my hands on? Well, let's go ahead and dump those points into there. Let's get the fighter production. Although we don't really struggle with fighters, but whatever, I'll take it. Let's see, what else do I want? Could go for even better capacitor recharge rate. Or I can go ahead and start progressing our engine tech further, as well as reactors. Which I feel like both of those are very nice. Let's go ahead and get better engines. Engineering company completed. Tug 1 has arrived and completed its orders. You stabilize that jump point. And then let's head back to Siceti. I don't really need that waypoint. Let's go ahead and delete that so it's not showing up there anymore. What do we have being sent here right now? Okay, we have the mines arriving. Actually, and colonists. Okay, that's both of those are great. Both of those are great. I think I named one of these, yes. What are you doing? Why are you not completing your orders? Did I not tell you to cycle, or I probably didn't? Then again, this doesn't really have resources right now. So, you know what? At the current rate of mining, it's what? Production of, we'll say 1200 for the sake of simplicity. Actually just make my life a bit easier and pull up a calculator, and don't want it over there. Whoops. Add an extra 0, or an extra 1 rather. So it would take you like 91 and some odd repeating years to actually fill up the cargo capacity for this fleet at your current rate of mining. Of course, that's part of your problem, is at this current rate of mining. You need a bunch more mines. Great job, NVIDIA, telling me a notification for that. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and give you a nice even number. Let's get that to 200, just so it's a nice even number. So that's, what? 79? Just double check my math there, but that should be correct, yeah. So you go ahead and demand 79 mines. Earth is going to add... no, that's not what I had selected, game. Oh, yeah, it's because this damn thing doesn't change. What was that set to, like 1? How many of these do I have on hand? I got 4. We'll just set it to 3. I could have sworn just selecting something here would allow you to... Oh, I pressed add, didn't I? I think that's what I did, yeah. That would explain it. I'm just going to go ahead and round this up to 100, and then we'll sort it out from there. New mineral deposits, more troops being completed at Earth. Wonderful. How many more units still need to be completed? It is just the tanks and the division command, because I also technically downgraded everything a little bit. Corps are now divisions. Divisions are now brigades. It does not make a difference for our actual troops. It's just a minor adjustment. There we go. The moon has reached its new level. Min temp is still a little bit below our preferred minimum, but I think that should change on its own over time. So we're going to just kind of leave that be, I think. Have you completed moving stuff? No, you haven't. Okay, that's division command. And there's our ground force construction rate. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and dump points into that. That leaves me still with 9 extra points left over. So I'm going to tell you to go ahead and start researching next generation reactors. There's our 25 centimeter railgun. Not that I plan to use it. Let's go into here. Railguns. The main thing for me really is that 5,000 kilometer a second, or no, excuse me, the 50,000 launch velocity. That is the big thing for me, because that'll get our range up to 250,000 kilometers on a 25 centimeter railgun, which actually with Capacitor recharge rate of 5 does get us to 15 seconds. So I think we actually might go with 25 centimeter railguns for the STOs. We're not going to equip these on our ships, I don't think. They're a little too big, in my opinion. So, yeah, just a tad bit too big for my liking. Because that's extra space that I can use for, like, literally anything else. So, yeah, once this is done, which will again be occurring in August. There we go. Got buttons were refusing to respond correctly. Oh, whoops. I didn't choose new research. That is a problem. Forgot to actually, press that. Let's go for the extra construction rate. That's always nice. And you know what? It's always nice to have extra research rate. That's also always very nice. So we'll go ahead and start pumping some points into that. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna cancel that project and change the plans. Research rate. Cancel that. Hey, yeah, you know that whole mining thing that you guys have been slowly working on at Alpha Centauri? Yeah, you're not doing that anymore. And I'm going to also tell Alpha Centauri to supply its mines, or its research labs, all 2 of them. And I'm going to tell Earth to request. Whoops. Pressed add supply when I meant to do add demand. I'm going to tell Earth to request 2 of them. The game will continue to bug us for a while about the mines not doing anything. Because annoyingly, you do not actually have the option to tell this to support research that's being conducted on another planet. It is all entirely independent, so until somebody gets around to dragging those mines to Earth, or I do it manually in the future, once our cargo fleet is done, we're going to be needing to, transit time 1 day at a time. Let's see. We got 25 currently over here on the Lande, which is nice. But we're going to want more. Okay, Duranium exhausted on an asteroid. I do not give a shit about that, if I'm being honest. Okay, and the tank battalion finished. Wonderful. So, Earth is basically set up. I do just want to sort of double check my exact order, so yeah. That is how these are supposed to go. Not you. I'm going to put 1 there. Now, of course, I could always organize these significantly better because, yeah, this is over its cap. So we're going to move supplies up to the very top so that anybody can get access to them. You are field position rear echelon, rear echelon, rear echelon. You are at the very top, correct? Yes, okay. So, the main issue here, I think, is the extra infantry is expensive. Very, very expensive. So what I might end up doing is 1 regimental command will have motorized, and 1 regimental command will have mechanized. But beyond that, they are more or less the same. Yes, I want to say that that's probably the way I'm going to end up doing it. So, Earth, got a job for you. I need one more of everything you got here. With a couple of exceptions, of course. Sort those out. When are they supposed to be done? Sometime later this year, it looks like. So that's wonderful. You are a support group. You are... I don't know where you would actually put an engineering company. You don't have much in the way of actual stuff, so I want to assume rear echelon is probably the better bet. Support for you. And rest of you guys can stay in the position you're in, which is actually frontline defense. Okay, some units got trained. You finish your orders, wonderful. Transit through. And begin stabilizing that side. I know, game, about the inactive labs. I know you don't like them. Second tug group has finally finished all of its orders. Wonderful. Whoops, wrong button. I did actually press the right one the first time around. And now merge you guys all into one. And we wait for the tankers to finally ship off in... Well, I need to reset their orders, of course, because, you know, annoyingly, the way this whole system works is that it got removed. So, yay. I got some complaints about... I voiced them before. I do have some complaints about this game. It is overall a very good game, but it does have some problems. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and just cut it down to, say, 128 days. We'll roughly have the wait time. Because clearly, a year is definitely way overkill. It's not what I wanted. Stupid search. So, 11059.200. That. 0 seconds for that. Transfer fuel to colony. And you're just going to do that once because that should be more than sufficient. And of course, we're still waiting for those inactive labs to, at some point, get transferred. There's our fancy new railguns. Or, well, excuse me. Rather the tech for the new railguns. That's fine, game. I don't care that it can't be overhauled. Apparently, you completed your orders. I want to assume that that is probably correct. Again, I don't actually know how many automated mines you're technically supposed to be able to ship off, but that's helpful. Once you're done completing that overhaul, I'm going to have you... I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. The game... I think it's because I saw the freaking galactic map open in the background. Okay, so let's go ahead and design our new railgun for the STOs so that we can actually, design the new STOs. So this is going to be the Noda Precision Arms 25 centimeter railgun V50C5. It is more damage, same fire rate, but a little over double the range. Personally, I think that's a significant improvement, personally. So this will now do 20 damage basically per volley, assuming that all 4 shots hit, which, unless I'm missing it, we don't seem to have an option for railgun shots 5, so I think we are limited to 4 shots, unless I have to research something else to unlock it. Which, I mean, it's possible that it has some dependency that I'm just completely failing to figure it out. It doesn't really matter, though. It really doesn't. Makes like 0 difference to us. Because this is still fine. So let's go ahead and create that. Should be under... Here we go. And also dump any remaining mines into the... Or, excuse me, any remaining research labs into the mining production. That we will get in December, it looks like. Should be December of this year, unless somehow my math is way off. We're going to get the ordnance production because I think we are going to potentially go and design some new missiles. Our current ones are, probably fine, but I do plan to build a quick reaction force, like I said, and I'm kind of inclined to probably just give them new missiles. Still have the inactive labs. It'd be great if anybody, would go and grab them. Okay, here we go. Now, unless my stuff is way the hell off... we're also going to... Actually, you know what? We're not going to put the 2118. We're just going to... Well, yeah, no, I'm going to put the 2118, mostly just for myself. But we'll increment the number there. We are actually going to go ahead and give you significantly more armor. I think my current ones have light static armor, I believe. Yeah, they have 8. So that would be light static armor. With our older tech. Surface to orbit weapon. There we go. Do I want to... game, out of curiosity, how far are we from getting this? That is February of next... You know what? We're going to hold off. I want to get the new tracking speed. Or the fire control speed rating. So we're going to hold off a little bit. It's a couple of months. That'll tick by really quickly. In the meantime... we're going to start considering future developments, such as larger carriers and different types of fighters. Also, I may want to experiment with potentially new fighters that have 12 centimeter railguns, because our current ones are still sticking around with the 10s, but I could probably actually upgrade them with a 12. Especially since we actually do have more fuel efficiency than the engines designed. These engines were designed when I still only had 0.5, and 0.4 was still a ways out. So we could technically do minor refits of everything with slightly more efficient engines. If I wanted to. I don't really care to, so we're not. But technically I could. Oops, not you. There we go. Ah, yes. Because of the difference in size between our mechanized and motorized, I'm not going to be able to just look at the regimental command to figure out if I have everything properly set up. Are you still under your command? Oh, yeah, you are way under. I can fit at least one more regimental command underneath a brigade. And then probably at least one more brigade. Minimum. With maybe some additional support elements. Out of curiosity, let's see, how many like actual frontline units do I have? You, I believe, are supposed to be support. We're going to go ahead and update some of these. So you to rear echelon, anti-tank. I don't know if you guys should be front or not, but yeah, because I don't think you guys technically are support. So okay, so I technically have 3 frontline units. So I'm just going to say 2. I don't consider the anti-tank to be. You know what? So my understanding is that rear echelon is supposed to be basically if an enemy makes a breakthrough, rear echelon units are the ones that get attacked. So if I set my anti-tank platoons as rear echelons, if the enemy has armored vehicles or they make a breakthrough, the anti-tank platoons will be there. But they're not going to be on the front lines, so they're not going to be the ones in immediate danger of attack. Mortar battalions, mortar batteries. I actually don't know off the top of my head if the light bombardment for infantry, or really just light bombardment in general, actually is support in the way that I think it is. I believe it is. You know what? I'm actually going to place you underneath the motorized rifle battalion. I want you guys, your job is specifically to support the rifle battalions, whether that be the motorized or the mechanized. That is your specific job. The artillery is going to be, I think what I'm going to do is build one more set of artillery batteries for each of these. Because my understanding is that support battalions like these basically randomly choose some other unit that is not a support or rear echelon to support. And so if I have 2, theoretically one should choose one and then the other should choose the other. In theory, I could be way off in my assessment. Again, I've not really dabbled too much in the ground forces related stuff. So I'm still learning this in many ways. But I should have more than enough command. Actually, I might be squeezing, cutting it a little bit close, actually. That's a little under a little over 1900. We've got a little under 14. It's a little close, but it should be doable. And if for some reason I'm way off and it isn't, then we will reassess the situation. But you know what? So that let's go ahead and new brigade, 2 regimental commands. No, excuse me, 1 regimental command. I'm going to have this brigade command have 2 motorized rifle battalions under it, I think. Air defense, anti-tank. 2 more arties. Actually, I do not want that brigade command either right now, because it's actually not necessary. It's only the regimental that I need. Engineering. Mortar. Supply platoon, tank battalion. Thank you very much. That should be correct, unless I'm way off on my math there. That should all check out. Okay, some of those completed. You know what? Once the cargo group is done overhauling, I'm going to have them go ahead and grab the mines off of Alpha Centauri. Okay, there's the mining production. Let's go ahead and get the ordnance production. And ordnance transfer hub. Okay, the tanker group completed. Now, double check. Uranus, are you empty? No. No, you're not. So, and I did not set that to... Was my math way the hell off? It's possible that I failed to take into account... It's wrong. Wrong thing. It's possible that I failed to take into account the actual accessibility and the effect that that would have. So, you know what? Fleet, go here. Refuel from tankers. I'm gonna set you for a year. Then go to Earth with no delay. Transfer fuel to colony. And you know what? I'm gonna set you to cycle. I'm gonna set you to cycle so I don't have to think about you. Until I finally at some point notice that Uranus does not have any more sorium on it. And then I can say, oh yeah. And, you know, deal with that in a year or 2 or whatever. God, I hope the cargo group actually finishes relatively soon. Oh, what just got exhausted? Uridium on Gallia, which is irrelevant to us, because that is one of the civilian mining colonies. There's the fire control, finally. Put those points into there, and... Now, if I tell you to do this... so that had 0 effect on your maximum, or excuse me, on your chance to hit at max range. It is still 63% with the 15 centimeter railgun. We are still going to go ahead and swap you out, though, for the nice, fancy, schmancy new 25 centimeter railguns. Not that it's going to make a significant difference, I imagine, realistically, but hey, it's always nice to have. I'm still going to refer to you. You know what? Screw it. No, we'll refer to you as 2121, because this is when I built you. Not 2118. Does it really matter? Not really. But I'm still going to do that for myself. Just helps me know how recent-ish you are at a glance. And once that's done, we're going to queue up probably 10 of those and start shipping them off-world. Also, speaking of those, one thing is I need to go ahead and do that. And motorized rifle. Yes, that is correct. Game, go ahead, reorganize that. Thank you. Make my life easier. Anti-tank, mortar is going to go there and there. You are waiting for your tank battalion, I assume. Yes, that is correct. Let's go ahead and go through this whole song and dance again. Just to make sure that this stuff is all where I want it. I believe I don't know off the top of my head if you actually want your defense platoons in support or if you want them in rear echelon. They might actually be better off in rear echelon. I do not recall. I really don't. There's your tank battalion. There you go. Now, double check that the brigade is under 50,000. It is. Wonderful. And yes, I have like just enough wiggle room to completely redo that underneath the division command, which I'm definitely going to be doing. Probably best to do that right now, otherwise I will likely forget. So let's do this. So I need 3 regimental commands. This one had 2 motorized, so the new one is going to have 2 mechanized. So 2 mechanized and a motorized. 3 mortars. 2, 3 air defense. 3 anti-tanks. 6 artillery. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I do actually need a brigade command, because I did not queue that up. 3 engineering companies. 3 supply platoons. And 3 tank battalions. That is all going to take a while to finish, which is fine. We're not in any rush. You know, we got new STOs on the way, which admittedly are not going to get built for a while because I'm waiting for these things to all finish getting built once the research finally finishes on the new STOs. But again, we're going to probably build 10 of those initially and then, sort it out from there. Environment, how are you doing? Your minimum temp versus species has not seemed to change as far as I can tell. So I think we need to do this again. 0.03. Dump some more astesium here. Which I'm fine with. It doesn't hurt us. It doesn't. We will get those in July. Wonderful. Let's see. Ship build rate. Yes. Let's go ahead and get that. And I think next part is probably when I'll start building the new quick reaction force. In the meantime, we're going to be focusing on this stuff. Construction. Ship build rate is a 80,000, so same as research rate. Let's go in and improve our mining. Still waiting for that overhaul on the single cargo group that we currently have. Luna has achieved its cesium levels. You are almost there. You are like right on the edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 0.035. Just a tiny bit extra. And we'll see if that gets you just over the edge. Oh, good. You guys are actually done with that. Also, formation templates, STOs. Hey, yeah, you know, you guys have 20 of those old ones. Now you're going to get 20 of the new ones to replace the old ones. I actually already upgraded their battalion HQ previously, but I didn't build any new STOs when I did that. Also, rename template. I don't know why I have you actually named like that, because there's zero reason for you to be named like that. You're STO. Actually, you know what? No. We're going to call you Orbital Defense Team. But I'm still going to have your abbreviation be STO. These are actually, like, one of our largest units with that many STOs. But that's fine. Close out of that, reopen, go here, scroll down, Orbital Defense Team, and I want 10 of these. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll sort out from there how many extra I need, because I inevitably will. What I'm probably going to do is 2 for each of our planets for now. That's like 4 times what most of our planets have, because most of our planets only have a single set of 10. At some point, I swapped it to 20, but existing units do not get the new things. So they were still just 10 STOs. I think Syseti... Was it Syseti? It was Syseti A2. I had moved a second unit too. Okay, there's a go. The Astesium on the moon. And there we go. We have you. So your min, max, and current temps are within our preferences, which is great. And we're just kind of going to leave that there for a little while. I assume I don't want to get rid of the Astesium immediately. Presumably. So we just kind of want to let it sit for a little while. Still waiting for the cargo group to finish its overhaul. At some point it'll finish also. FL Virginis. You finished your thing and I completely missed it, because, you know, of course I did. So Tug Group 1, go through, fleets, grab this guy, tractor any, release there. Wonderful, check this, yes. Okay. You are over Wolf 359, stabilize that. Hopefully we never have a giant fight take place there, because that would not be great. Well, it's far enough away that the chances of that actually happening are slim to none. How's your fuel doing? You still have plenty of fuel. Go back to Saiseti and check out the other last unexplored jump point there. God damn, how long is that fucking overhaul? I wish the game would show me, but okay, so your maintenance life, there we go, is way down, so you should be finishing up relatively shortly, I believe. Neutronium on Irene has been exhausted, that's fine. There we go, that overhaul is finally completed. God, that took forever. Okay, Alpha Centauri. I know I have you set to... Why do you have that stuff? Okay, well, we are going to scrap the 30. No, disassemble is the tech. And you know what? We'll disassemble the refueling as well, because I actually don't have that one. Granted, it's helping us with one of its predecessors, the 125,000 LPH, but that's fine. And let's go ahead and continue with the 30 centimeter railguns, which are giving us multiple things. Launch velocity of 60,000, which would be these. Recharge rate of 6, which is nice. And then, of course, the 30 centimeter railgun itself. The magnetoplasma shouldn't have anything, but we'll disassemble one just to check, and that is correct. It has nothing. So we'll scrap it for a little bit of minerals. I have zero clue as to why there was anything there. It makes zero sense to me, but for some reason we had stuff there, so yeah. That's a thing. As I was trying to do, as my timer goes off, which I will deal with in a moment. Earth, where the hell is it? There it is. I want you to delete your demand for that. And Alpha Centauri, you are going to delete your supply of the research facilities. The cargo group is going to fly out to Alpha Centauri, load up on the research stations, which for some reason is not in alphabetical order, fly to Earth, unload all of that, and refuel and resupply. And we'll end the part once that all is completed, which should not take very long. I think the biggest delay is going to be actually grabbing the mines off, or the labs off Alpha Centauri. And they're actually on their way back already. Wonderful. Alpha Centauri has changed from jungle to savanna because it cannot make up its mind as to what type of planet it wants to be. Also, the max temp is actually way over. Holy crap. Yeah, I need to figure out which one it is that actually lowers that. I do not recall for the life of me. I could go and pull it up to try and figure it out, but I don't care enough to, honestly. So, yeah. But I should probably do that because I get the feeling it's probably not going to work out well for us if I don't do it at some point. Oxygen. Again, you should be... I believe... Do I actually have to check add gas to atmosphere to lower it? I could have sworn it was a case of you just set what the max you want is. And if it's over that, it will attempt to, or, it'll start lowering it. But it's possible that I'm just way off on my memory of that, but I could have sworn that's the way it worked. But yeah, we need to cool off Alpha Centauri. It is way too hot. I think we consider Luna effectively done. So the terraforming fleet that's there, I think, is going to actually move to Alpha Centauri. So I'm going to go and actually queue that up now. Since I'm here anyway, might as well. So fleet, first terraforming fleet, tractor any ship, fly to Alpha Centauri, release tractor ship, fly back here, refuel and resupply on Earth each time just to make sure you don't have problems. And there are 5 of those. You've already done 1 with the initial order, so repeat that 4 times. And Earth... Did they not grab it? What the fuck, guys? Why did you guys not grab, like I told you, load all infrastructure research lab? Yes. Fly back to Seoul. Unload all. You guys should have the space. Now I need to double check this because apparently the game just decided to completely ignore doing that. There we go. I think I had to press enter. Well, no, because that's not correct, game. I do not want you... It's not done, game, because that's way too over. Way, 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 way too high. So let's see if the cargo group actually does its job this time, because for some reason they didn't. Oh, we completed a research, didn't we? And I wasn't paying attention. Yes, we got the new engines. Wonderful. We're going to let this part run a bit longer because I'm trying to deal with apparently the cargo group refusing to actually load up the research. Or, excuse me, the research facilities, because reasons, it just says, no, I'm not in the mood to do it. Screw you. Yeah, let's go ahead and research that. And you know what, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually tell you, don't head back to Earth at all. Load up first. I will then check to see if you can actually completed your orders. Holy shit, okay, yeah. Apparently research facilities are freaking massive. So I see what the problem is. Okay, so I'm going to let you complete that, the current one, and then I'm going to actually tell you to redo that whole thing over again. I'm going to tell you to cycle. Now that I know what the problem is that they're absolutely massive. Whoops. Alpha Centauri here. Load. Research facility. Sol. Earth. Unload. Refuel and resupply each time, and then cycle that order until you have completed it. Then I'm going to go ahead and actually let you do this a couple of ticks before I actually let you off the hook. Yes, okay, you are actually doing it now. I swear the first time they did not do it for some reason, and I do not know why. It's possible that I just completely missed it, but I swear they did not do it the first time. They literally arrived, sat around, acted as if they were loading up, and then just said, no, never mind, we're not doing that. I think the guy who was researching that died. That's the only explanation for why I had 3 inactive research facilities on Earth. Also, how's our fuel doing on Earth? Do I need to reactivate? Nope. Double check you again. This time. Okay, good. You are You're actually keeping to it, so we will let that go. What is that we just researched? Ordnance production, yes. Next time we will be, I think, building a new missile. Like I said, to go with our new, quick reaction force that I plan to build. Yeah, I don't need any other text necessarily to do that. I mean, there are some things that are nice to haves, but not strictly necessary. The big thing... I'm curious if I want to potentially build a whole new set of destroyers just for that, and maybe give them actual reloads, magazines and whatnot, or if I want to just stick them with the box launchers we currently have. If I give them magazines, they're probably going to be quite a bit larger, though, so I think I'm going to say no to that plan. Yeah, we're not going to do that. But we are going to want to go ahead and, I think, get better box launchers for the future. Because they can technically explode right now, which is not something you want to have happen. Because you can easily lose an entire ship should something like that occur. So that is going to be it for this part. I will see you all next time where we will be building that quick reaction force and I think technically finishing up setting up Lalande because it's not actually done. I'm pretty sure Earth still has a ton of automated mines. Yeah, it still has 166 some odd automated mines, which it doesn't need. Also, double check that everything here has a deep space tracking. It does. Good. Okay. Okay, good. Oh. Oh, did we... Out of curiosity, did we finish any of these? No, we didn't. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and real quick, before we actually sign off, set these guys up, because why not? It'll take but a moment. It is 2 artillery per, 1 engineering company per, 1 air defense, and also we'll double check that I have my math correct and we can comfortably do this, but we should be able to, I think. The main thing is that this one has 2 mechanized, which are actually larger. But yes, we can... we're a little bit over at the regimental level, but not by too much. So while that does mean our bonus is a little bit lower, it's not too extreme. I think we can do it without it being a major drawback, especially, with the numbers we got here. I think sort of make up for it. But yeah. Oops, I accidentally set you guys to rear echelon. I want you at support. I think my tank battalions have... No, they didn't. The old ones had a couple of anti-tank guys, but the new ones don't. Regimental command. And brigade command. Wonderful. How large is the supply battalion out of curiosity? 510. I might drop a supply battalion at like the division level. Just so that it can sort of make up for supply down the chain of either side. But we'll see if I actually do that. I don't know. Again, I don't fully understand the ground-based stuff because I haven't really had a need to use it. But this is a significantly larger fleet, or army, so we should be able to comfortably transport that. This is the transport size, so it's 98,000. We'll just round and say 100,000. Make sure that our new expeditionary group has enough space. Yes. Our current ones should be able to transport at least 2 of our current setup of armies, which I don't think are going to change significantly. I think the biggest thing is just going to be, technology improvements. Better armor, better weapons, etc., etc. Beyond that, though, I think they're going to basically be set in stone going forward. With the infantry using powered infantry armor, I don't think I'm ever going to use heavy powered infantry armor. I don't think it's going to be quite worth it. I think powered infantry is sufficient. If I recall correctly, I think your actual attack. Do we actually know what your... Yes, you have a penetration of 15. So with our current powered infantry armor, you can survive one shot without immediately being killed. You will not survive a second shot. But the fact of the matter is, because you can survive one, you can almost think of it as our infantry being twice as numerous as they really are. Because they're not going to necessarily be downed immediately. We actually have 1,710, so, we can almost, technically, consider it. And theoretically, you actually have a little bit of armor left over after that first hit. I don't know off the top of my head if that actually will affect the damage done. The enemy does 10 damage with each shot. So if they knock out or if they hit you once, that's 15. You still have 3 armor, technically speaking. So I don't know if their second shot loses 3 damage as a result of that little bit of extra armor that's there. Meaning they would only do 7 damage instead of the full 10. Which means you can also survive 2 hits, potentially, after your armor gets hit. So theoretically, our infantry might be able to survive 3 hits, depending upon exactly how the game handles having partial armor remaining and then being shot at. I do not know off the top of my head how that actually functions. So our infantry might actually be able to take a couple of hits, which is great. The current army that is on Saiseti B1, I think is going to stay there until they get wiped out. I don't think I'm going to actually destroy them or anything. We will be building new of these armies, definitely, probably a couple of them, so I can have a few to be able to move around as needed. But as of right now, I think we're basically set for the current plans and dealing with the aliens, especially once our STOs finish. Looks like the last one will finish sometime in August of Jesus Christ 2035. I didn't realize it was that bad. Hey, you guys know how you're researching box launchers? Yeah, change of plans. We really need that ground formation stuff. Because, yeah. 13 years to get new STO teams? That don't cut it. So yeah, we're gonna be dumping all of our extra research labs that pop up when research finish into ground formation to speed that up, because we need those STOs like yesterday. But I will see you all next time. Quick reminder, if you want to stay up to date with the channel, I generally post onto my Discord more often than anywhere else, so that is my go-to place. If you want to know if, I'm going to be missing recordings, if that's going to potentially result in there being a week of just no episodes, things like that. I'm pretty far ahead, so hopefully that's unlikely to actually ever occur, but it might. Also, if you want to support the channel financially, it's entirely up to you. But the 2 major ways to do that are via either Patreon or Streamlabs. Patreon has some goodies such as early access to videos, while Streamlabs individually I think the math works out that on an individual donation basis, Streamlabs is better. Collectively, however, Patreon is better. If you go the Streamlabs route, you don't get any goodies. You just sort of get the warm, fuzzy feeling that individually, your contribution, more of it actually makes its way to the channel, as opposed to Patreon. But if you just want to maximize your collective support, Patreon's the better route. Especially if you're already planning to support on a on a monthly basis. Definitely better off going the Patreon route in that case. Streamlabs does have an option to do monthly. I don't know how well it works. And again, that's only really good, if my math is correct, on an individual basis. But I will see you all next time. Until then, goodbye and farewell.